Chapter 1 Christmas Day. My sister calls, all excited. She says she's got a huge gift for me, and I gotta come home to get it. I was so stoked. I practically flew to her place. I opened the front door, and instead of a party, there's like 7 or 8 dudes, totally wasted. They grabbed me. They did things I can't even talk about. I was screaming, crying, begging to call the cops, but my husband just slaps me hard, like a bunch of times. You're gonna call the cops? Are you kidding me? You've already embarrassed me enough. Just get out, he yells. Then my mom jumps in, siding with him and my sister, screaming, we don't have trash like you in this family. I lost it. I walked out. Everything felt emptied. I was crossing the street, and this semi-truck just slammed into me. The next thing I know, I'm waking up. It's Christmas Day. Again. My phone buzzes. It's a text from my sister, Lindsay. Okay, don't say I never do anything for you, Britt. You got me that gold pendant for Christmas, so I had to get you something. Come get your gift. It's at home, waiting for you. Her voice is all bubbly, happy. Don't say I didn't warn you. It's something you've always wanted, but would never splurge on. You're gonna be so surprised. Her voice echoed in the room, the heat blasting from the vents. I instinctively touched myself, looked in the mirror at my reflection, and pinched myself hard. Tears streamed down my face. It hurt. I started laughing. Then I started crying again. I curled up in a ball in the corner, just hugging myself. It took a good 15 minutes for it to really sink in. I'd been given a second chance. Lindsay texts me again. You gonna come get it or what? Don't blame me if I take it for myself. You've been warned. She whines. I remembered the last time. Christmas. My dear sister, Lindsay, blew up my phone after my nap, saying she had a Christmas gift for me at her place. She said it was something I really wanted but could never bring myself to buy. She had me hooked. I thanked her a million times and rushed over, but when I opened the door, it wasn't a surprise waiting for me. It was those guys. These creepy, disgusting drunk men who were all over me. They dragged me inside. They held me down and did unspeakable things for hours. I fought and screamed and threatened them. My sister's coming home any minute. When she finds out, she's calling the cops, and you'll all be in jail for life. I cried, but they didn't care. My threats just made them mad. They didn't just hurt me. They burned me with cigarettes, spat on me. They told me to shut up. You're just a used up piece of trash. You think you're something special? I bit my lip, kept fighting, and prayed Lindsay would come back. I expected her to save me, so those monsters would get what they deserved, but she never came. Those guys took turns hurting me for 3 hours, from dusk till dark. No one came home. I was the one who got up, put on my clothes, and went back to my place, and then I was going to call the cops. That's when I ran into Matt, my husband, my mom, and Lindsay coming home. They were laughing and talking. When they saw me, Matt looked me up and down, saw my ripped clothes and messy hair, and just said, "What did you do?" Seeing my family was a relief from the fear. I ran to Matt, sobbing. I told him everything and said, I have to call the cops. Those guys have to pay for what they did. I needed him to understand. I wanted my mom and sister to feel bad for me, to give me love. I just needed them to be on my side. But instead, Matt backhanded me across the face. My face was already swollen. He hit me so hard that my nose started bleeding. I looked at him, shocked. You're gonna call the cops? Are you kidding me? You've already embarrassed me enough. Just get out. I turned to my mom and Lindsay. My mom told me to shut up. It's your fault, she spat. Why would they do it to you if you're innocent? It's your fault. I showed them my cigarette burns. I was hurt. Why would you do this? You aren't my mother. I looked to Lindsay. And you set me up. I lost it. My mom grabbed my hair. Don't you talk to your sister like that. Just get out of here. She dragged me out. I saw Lindsay being comforted by Matt. I had no idea, she said. My husband comforted her. It's not your fault. I don't blame you. It's that Brit's fault. My mom pushed me out the door and slammed it shut. I heard them laughing. I went out to the street. I saw Christmas lights and happy people. It was just me, alone. Then a truck hit me. I heard people shout. The driver yelled, "Are you blind?" Then I watched my soul leave my body. I saw my crushed body. My mom didn't care. She signed a release form and told the driver, "I understand." I screamed, "Mom, what about me?" But she couldn't hear me. I saw my husband and sister holding hands, smiling, taking my insurance money. Then those guys showed up. Where's the rest of the money? Matt handed them cash and told them to disappear. I saw the truck driver too. Matt gave him money and told him to leave. The driver laughed and said, "You guys are twisted." Then I realized that Matt and Lindsay had been sleeping together all along. It had all been planned. They wanted to break me down and make me leave, but Matt had gambling debts and needed my life insurance to get rid of him. So I heard Lindsay say on the phone, "Are you coming to get it?" I calmed down and said, "Yeah, I'll be right there." The streets had Christmas decorations. I thought about how I was in blood when I died. Very Christmassy. I bought some stuff and had it delivered to my husband's company with a note to my baby. After I died, I realized Matt and Lindsay called each other that I was going to give them a surprise. I went to my neighborhood. I asked my mom's enemy, a neighbor, to talk. My sister got me a Christmas gift that's at my house, I said. The last time my mom bought food, we had some left over. I held her arm and she laughed, thinking I was nice. I went into the elevator with her and then acted surprised. Oh shoot, I forgot my mom's Christmas gift. I apologized and said, "Hold on, I'll leave it here for you. The weather sucks." I gave her the key and said I would be quick. She went in and I went to the parking lot. I watched the neighbor unlock the door and be dragged in by those guys. Then I heard her yelling. She broke a vase over their head and ran to the kitchen to get a knife. Those guys weren't as tough as they were with me. They knew they were screwed. I got to the elevator just as she started yelling, "Brittany, they're getting away. Call the cops." Finally, the neighbors listened. The guys got caught and I heard the neighbor saying she would have killed them if she hadn't gotten caught. The thugs started yelling, "I didn't rob her. I didn't do anything." The guy said that someone hired them. "We got paid to do it." One of the guys said he had a video to prove it. Everyone looked at me and I played surprise. "Who hired you? To do what?" And I heard a woman shout, "Brittany." I turned around and got slapped in the face. Lindsay and my mom were there. My husband looked at me. "You're calling the cops?" He glared at me. "You're not even clean anymore. You're calling the cops?"